you need to identify. I mean, to me, it's how to eat an elephant one block at a time, one bite at a time, right? So
Yeah.
it's okay. What is our total obligation? It's X, so let's say it's a $120 million deal. Let's say it's 6 million, okay, great. So I have a $6 million obligation if I total up everybody that's going to get something for bringing this to the table. Fantastic. Okay, great. So I've got 6 people. I need to know first, what are the triggering events that have to happen that cause them to be paid? And then I need to know for each of those 6 people, who is paying them?
I have a specific question relationship to finder's fee and connection. So
Okay.
I have it's a little bit complex. We 6 intermediates. So I'm in the middle, connector with one, and then you have 2 on this side and another 3 on that side.
Okay.
It's for a hotel, 5-star hotel, 120 million. You're talking about
Okay.
questions. I have a few questions. How do I make an agreement with those intermediaries? Although I don't know all of them. So how is that set up? Because the finder's fee you normally do directly with the buyer or the seller, but how do I do that with intermediaries?
So it would be who is ultimately going to pay the intermediaries?
That's the question as well. That some say the buyer, the other says on the seller.
Okay. So you need to identify. I mean, to me, it's how to eat an elephant one block at a time, one bite at a time, right? So
Yeah.
it's okay. What is our total obligation? It's X, so let's say it's a
Okay.
$120 million deal. Let's say it's 6 million, okay, great. So I have a $6 million obligation if I total up everybody that's going to get something for bringing this to the table. Fantastic. What has to happen?
A question obligation. What is an obligation? Is that a commission?
The requirement, the requirement to pay.
To the intermediate.
Correct.
Okay, that's continue. Sorry, I was not.
Yeah, no, the language, I get it. So basically, what is going to trigger the situation in which I have to pay? That's when it becomes an obligation, which is something that you must do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I've got 6 people. I need to know first, what are the triggering events that have to happen that cause them to be paid? And then I need to know for each of those 6 people, who is paying them? Because in some cases, it may be one of them is paying the other, et cetera, because it could be a daisy chain kind of deal. And so once you've got all of those things lined up, then you need a single agreement that expresses all of that so that you can basically say, okay, everybody is signing off on this and everybody's on the same page. Alternatively, you can do a separate agreement for each of the people that's involved, and that is limited. That payment and obligation is limited to only happening in the event that these conditions are satisfied, and then this money is paid to whoever it's going to be paid to, which will then be paid to the end person. So it's really just gathering up all those obligations. Is not really a big deal. It's just kind of, tedious to do.
Yeah, and it's international. It's with I don't know.
But I mean, international doesn't matter, right? A
Yeah,
contract is a contract. Now, how enforceable it is and how likely you are to be able to make it happen, particularly if you're one of the finders, and finders notoriously get cut out of deals if there's lots of people involved, that's a different story.
because I was thinking about making an agreement on buyer side, because I'm basically in the middle, the connection with the other person,
Mhm.
and then make an agreement on the seller side and see if it works, and maybe work on that side to make sure that
Yeah.
because the one from the buyer said the seller needs to pay the commission, and the buyers and the seller said no, the buyer needs to pay the commission. So we'll
Yeah.
have to
And
figure those
and you
things out.
want you want the commission to be paid out of escrow. You don't want it to be paid by the buyer or the seller separate from that. You want the money to go into escrow, and then the escrow agent's obligation is, or their requirement of the escrow agent is going to be, when the deal closes, the money gets dispersed as follows. Title to the hotel gets signed over to buyer. The following amount are deducted from escrow prior to the seller being paid. And you're one of those amounts. If you don't
Yeah.
have it that way, it's very likely you'll never get paid.
Yeah.